Hi everyone, I'm happy to have you. This is the youth seminar. It's about youth and adolescent, the experiences they normally go through, the challenges they face, and how to overcome each one of them successfully. This is our part 2 entitled Adolescent Youth Seminar Physical Experiences or Physical Aspects of our Youth and Adolescent. My name is Christine Musee. I'm a healthcare giver and I have a special interest in this youth aspects, youth issues, if you like, and we will be discussing this. Remember, we will also be looking at the experiences, the challenges, and how to overcome them because a challenge is just a hurdle that someone can jump over. It doesn't need to overcome them. It doesn't need to overwhelm them. And many people have gone through this successfully. Yet, if these challenges are not addressed effectively, they tend to slow down somebody's life an abnormal way, and it can actually interfere with their destiny. So the youth and adolescent, they face physical, spiritual, social, biological, psychological changes. And these ones occur during the adolescent. They also occur during youth. And these changes are great because they are normal. Of course, we know a few may be abnormal. And when they're abnormal, we'll be looking at them and so that we recognize what is normal and what is not normal and how to address them. So these changes that we experience at the adolescent and youth age, they are normal and they are great. They're just a way of transiting from one level to the next. They are the ways that indicate that we are actually developing and that we are growing. So they are normal transitions of normal life, and we'll be looking at what we consider to be normal, what we consider not to be normal, and how to address what is abnormal. Despite the fact that these changes that occur are normal, many youth also feel overwhelmed, and it's because most of the times they do not have information. This is why we are taking time to talk about this. Of course, I'm not talking on behalf of my institution. I'm talking on my own accord as Christine Musee, a healthcare giver and a well-trained one, and also someone who has brought up adolescents and youth who are doing well in life despite the many changes that they may have faced. It is adolescent is a time of great memory. Remember, that is what we said in our part 1. We said is a time of great sharpness and intelligence. When you're having good memory, it is a time when you can lay many foundations regarding your career, regarding your social connections for later mentorship. It is a time when you can pick a life of discipline, where you put boundaries in your life, and as you put those boundaries in life, they develop your virtues, your characteristics, your ethics, and therefore you find you're not a youth that is being tossed to and fro by every challenge that comes around or by any person who is around. Of course, in your life, in your daily interactions, you've seen some adolescents and some youth who get into the next bus that comes around. In other words, they were going into a different direction, but when a certain friend comes along, they jump into this jargon of wagon. I mean the wagon, I mean the new friend that has come. They abandon what they had planned to do. Maybe they were planning to study, and then their friend has come around going to the field to sit and chat, and they go and sit and chat instead of going to study. But we said at this time, you have the capacity to set boundaries, and so that every day you wake up and you have objectives and you have some aims that you want to address and to accomplish for the day. And at the end of the day, you look at your day and you say, these are the objectives that I had when I started the day, number 1, number 2, number 3, have I accomplished them? If I have accomplished them, what is it that helped me to accomplish? If I didn't accomplish them, what caused me not to accomplish, so that I avoid that thing that is causing me to slow down with the achievement of my objectives. And as you set those boundaries, you find that you become a principled youth, a person who has their own principles. They don't live by other principles. Adolescent is a time of between 10 and 19. Some countries even push the adolescent up to age 20. So the definition may vary from one area to the next. It is a time when you have just graduated from your childhood. Some people have finished primary education and they have moved to secondary education, and others are actually in their preliminary years of college life. And that is what adolescent is. And there are characteristics that are associated with the adolescent. And today we will be looking at the physical characteristics. The physical characteristics here, we are narrowing on puberty, what is associated with puberty. And puberty is just about secondary sexual characteristics which are controlled by certain sexual hormones that are produced at this level of this age group. And how do these sexual characteristics, secondary sexual characteristics, cause us to behave? Why do we call them secondary, by the way? It is because when we were born, these characteristics were already there. Some were dormant, some were active, but as we get into this age group, these characteristics that were dormant, they become to be activated by the hormones that are being produced in our bodies, and then we start behaving and growing in certain direction. So secondary sexual characteristics are controlled by sexual hormones that are produced at this level. And if you're a boy, they will cause your voice to become deeper. In other words, they affect your voice production. Remember, your voice production is at the neck. It is affected by these secondary sexual characteristics, and your voice becomes deeper. It begins to break and becomes lower in pitch. What do I mean? For example, if you used to sing soprano 1 as a boy, you may find you can no longer sing soprano 1, but you're actually singing lower voices in the choir. That is, if you're in the choir. If you're a girl, you find that your voice becomes ladylike, it becomes more mature because of the same secondary sexual characteristics. You find both of you, boys and girls, you develop different hairs that were not there in your childhood begin to grow. In your armpit, if you check, you'll find that hair is growing. And if in your pubic area in the groin, you'll also find that hair is growing. This is both in boys and girls. Now for the boys, you find they're developing more hair in their chest. They're developing more hair in their upper arms. They're developing more hair. And even the normal hair in the head, it becomes thicker for both boys and girls. So there are different hairs that grow. And at that time, you find there's more sweating. What does this imply? The fact that we are growing more hair. It means when we are bathing, we need to give attention to the armpit. We need to give more attention to the groin and the pubic area. We need to give more attention to the chest. We need to give more attention even to the normal hair in the head. We need to pay attention when we are washing it. So that it doesn't become smelly, because in those areas where the hair grows, you find that there's even more sweating, which means we need to get some soap, we need to get some bathing gel and bathe more thoroughly, paying attention to those areas. If you are able, probably if you have good water supply, you can take a bath in the morning, you can take a bath in the evening, which you were not doing earlier. Maybe you are not bathing twice, but at this time you may need to give more attention to hygiene, body cleanliness. You will also find that you need to give attention to hand washing and brushing your teeth. Last time we said that you brush your teeth at least twice daily. It still stands. Get a good toothbrush and get a good toothpaste. Brush your teeth in the morning after the last meal in the morning, and brush your teeth a second time after the last meal in the night before you go to bed. It's important to keep your mouth clean and also to keep your teeth clean. If you have any issues or problems with your teeth, you can see your dentist or the doctor near you and they can advise you. Hand washing is good because it also protects and prevents diseases from coming to you. Now, when it comes to the underwear at this time, you're advised that you look for underwear that have more cotton material than artificial material. Cotton material absorbs sweat better and it will run through the day without you getting smelly. Because if your underwear is artificial and it is absorbing all this sweat and it is getting wet, you're likely to become smelly before the end of the day. Cotton wool absorbs more sweat and it tends to dry off faster. And these underwear, they should be changed and washed daily. Please don't repeat your underwears as you're going to bathe in the evening or in the morning. Wash that underwear and wear another one while that one is drying. So change your underwear and wash them daily. When it comes to your feet, you realize that you sweat more in your feet, under the toes, you sweat more, and you're also advised that you use socks that have got more cotton material. It is not possible to get socks that are purely cotton, but you can get socks that have got more cotton content than the other material that has been blended together with the cotton material. These socks, they need to be changed daily. Please do not repeat your socks. Change them daily and wash them before the next use. Change them before the next use so that you do not become smelly. Any clothes that have got sweat, remember, sweat is a waste of the body. When that sweat gets out there, bacteria and germs come on them and they begin to develop there, and that is why people get a bad smell when the bacteria and the germs come and break down that sweat. And therefore, when you have removed a sweaty cloth, it needs to be washed before it is worn the next time. And this is very vital so that you become an adolescent, you become a youth that is not smelly. As we finish, I want to say that adolescent is a great time. There are physical, there are spiritual, and other forms of characteristics. One of the characteristics we've looked at is that the characteristic of the physical changes that are caused by our secondary sexual characteristics. And the main thing we have looked at is the development of hair, the much sweating, what we need to do about it. Now, regarding this change that we have looked at today, if you're able, you can buy a perfume so that after you have bathed, when you're clean, you can use your perfume to boost a good smell in your body. Remember, if you can't afford, you do not have to cry about it. You do not have to fuss and feel like you're inadequate just because you do not have a perfume. Cleaning yourself thoroughly will give you a pleasant smell. Now, when it comes to those perfumes, avoid roll-ons. Do not use roll-ons. When you use a roll-on, for example, over your armpit, what you're doing, the roll-on is clogging. It is blocking the air, the pores, the holes, the little holes that God created in your armpit to produce the sweat. When you block them, the sweat accumulates under the skin, and that can be harmful. So avoid using roll-ons. Instead, use other forms of perfume. As we finish, I want to let you that you're a great person. God created you in a special way. And just because you're facing some challenges in adolescence and in your youth, you are not abnormal. That is normal. And it's just a matter of time. You will overcome each one of them. Who is the adult that you really admire? Think about that person. That person went through the same challenges you're going through. They came out successfully, and today they are successful. That is why you really admire them. God created you as a special person, and He loves you, and you are going to overcome. As I finish, I want to let you know that for you to overcome in life and to get a great destiny, you need God. You need to become a Christian. This is what causes you to have special ethics, special virtues, and there is no in between. Do not be lied to be told that there is an in between. You are either a Christian or you're a non-Christian. There is no in between. There is no atheist. You're either a Christian or a non-Christian. Do not be deceived. Now, be on the lookout for part 3 of our adolescent seminar, and we will be able to learn some more. Please overcome, and you will be a great person. Do not give up just because of small challenges. Move on and become a great person. Remember, you have a great intelligence. Please have a good smell as you bathe, as you brush your teeth, as you wear clean clothes. Have a good body odor, and you will not undermine your destiny. This is my prayer for you. This is my hope for you, even as I finish. I'm Christine Musee, and I'm also Pastor Tina, and you are going to be a great person. God bless you. Amen.